Hello, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting, and special video today because we're taking part in a YouTube hop, and in our Stamping Up team there are a few of us that are taking part in this, and the theme of our YouTube hop was the new DSP. So I'm very excited to be bringing to you Pressed Petals DSP. So it's quite possible that you've come over to my channel because Chapter Crafts has posted a link to this video in their description bar, and what I want to do is introduce you to Carol Tinson Designs, and I've left a link in the description bar to her YouTube video that she did as part of this YouTube hop. So please go over and see Carol's video. The link to it is in the description bar below, and while you're doing that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified of new videos that come along. So here's the paper I'm going to be using. This is part of the Pressed Petals DSP, 24 sheets of sheer loveliness. Really, really lovely. We've got this one. This is the one I'll be using today. So it's a lovely kind of meadow flowers, and looking on the the background of that is like a hessian, and then that's what we have on the back of that. It's kind of paper thickness. It's not like some of our other DSPs that are quite thick. This is paper thickness, but you are getting 24 sheets of this. Let me just show you the other papers that are in this pack. So we have that, which I really love. I love this Night of Navy and the Daffodil Delight that's in here, and the mossy meadow leaves that are in there, and then the crumb cake hessian. And then we have some old vintage style magazine prints there. We have some beautiful leaves, some fern-like leaves, more of a traditional shaped leaf in there as well. So this is Pear Pizzazz on the back with Mossy Meadow. I'm always impressed when I can remember the colours. And then just plain hessian on the back of that. So that would be a really nice background if you were using it for that. Then we've got one of these sheets. So this you could actually divide up if you wanted to, just for a basic card front, if you wanted something very quick to do. So we've got some reeds. These all look like pressed flowers actually, and we've got a border on there as well, which is quite pretty. The back of that, musical notes on Mossy Meadow. Then we have this really old-fashioned, vintagey, your grandma's curtains type of flowers. So again, we've got our the pink that's in there is Rococo Rose, very deep mossy meadow green, and on the back is it's kind of like very vanilla with a hint of green in it. Lovely wood on the back. Looks just like a lovely oak. It'd be a lovely background. This is my personal favourite. I absolutely adore this, and at the moment I don't want to use it. So we've just got a lovely mixture of greens and dark reds and burgundies, and the hessian in the back, and the very vanilla here, and a hint of white. It's just beautiful. And then we have that on the back. I can't wait to use that. It's going to be something special for that. So I'm using the meadow flowers selection out of that DSP pack. Like I said, 24 sheets out of that. I'm still running a paper share, so if you're interested in doing a paper share, I need groups of 4 to do that, and that works out as £33, including postage. £33 for 156 sheets of 6x6 paper across the entire range. I'm also going to be using this vellum. This comes from the Perennial Essence Vellum pack, 12x12, and I'm going to be using that in my project today. I'm chucking everything but the kitchen sink at this project, and it's just going to be a card really. The other things that I'm going to be using, butterfly punch, leaf punch, 2-inch punch, starburst punch. I've got Night of Navy ink, the Inspiring Iris stamp set, and I'm going to be using the Wishing You the Best sentiment on there, And I'm also going to be using the butterfly for, I'm going to put a butterfly on my project. So I'm going to be using one of these butterflies, haven't decided which one yet. Punch that out and put that on my project. I've got Night of Navy ink, and let's just get this out of the way. I'm going to be using Very Vanilla cardstock and Rococo Rose cardstock. I will put all of the measurements onto the video, and I will also put everything on my blog, and there is a link to that down below. I'm trying to do some work on my blog. I'm not particularly technically minded, and it's taking a bit of time. I don't want to rush it, otherwise it'll look rubbish. Anyway, so start off first with a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock, and that measures 8 1/4 by 5 7/8, and then we're going to score on the long side halfway at 4 1/8. So 8 1/4, 5 7/8, 4 1/8. So that's our card base, and I'm going to be doing a landscape card. So I'm not going to fold that yet because I find it difficult to actually stick card on top of that when I've already folded it. So I'm going to put that to one side for now. And then I have a piece of Rococo Rose. This is our new in colour, one of our new in colours. A lovely deep dusky pink. I really love this. It's beautiful pink. And that measures 4 inches by 5 3/4. I'm just going to check that 5 3/4. Yes. So 4 inches by 5 3/4, and that is going to sit in there like that. So we've just got a nice Very Vanilla frame all the way around it. But before I do that, I've then got my DSP, and I have got 2 large pieces, 2 smaller pieces. The large piece measures 3 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches, and these 2 pieces measure 1 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just arrange them on my card like that. And so I'm going to stick them down like that, and I'm going to use Tombow for that because then that's easier to just jiggle about with the DSP to make sure that we get that in place. So just going to put that on there like that. And now I'm going to put glue on each of these. And just put those on there like that. I'm not worried too much about getting these exact. Nobody is going to pick this up and start measuring all the gaps and things, and there just aren't enough hours in the day to do that. So I'm just going to put them on there. Just wanted to make sure they were straight really more than anything. There are some projects where you have got to get it as exact as possible. This is not one. Unless you really want it to be absolutely exact. So that's got those on there like that. So the next thing I'm going to do is get my starburst punch. And I'm going to punch out a piece of Very Vanilla like that, and we're going to sit that in there, and then I'm going to get a piece of Rococo Rose. But before I do, I'm going to get my ink block, and I'm going to find my sentiments. So this is from the Inspiring Iris stamp set, And this says wishing you all the best. I love that blue on the pink. I think that's really pretty. I've got my 2-inch circle punch. Get that nice and central. There's my berry vanilla, and I'm going to put that on there like that, and I'm going to use dimensionals to do that. Let's take the back off of those and then line that up. And sit that on there like that, and that is going to sit there. There's a couple of other things I want to do with that first. So you could leave your card like that if you wanted to, and put that on there. Whoops, would it help if you stuck it on there? And you know, that looks perfectly fine. But I want to do something else with this. Obviously I'm going to stick that on there, but I want to get a butterfly on there. Just while I'm preparing this, when I'm thinking about how I want to put cards together, something that I do is go onto Pinterest and I just search card making sketches or something like that, and it comes up with lots of different ideas in which you can arrange your cards. So I really recommend that if you're having a little bit of a problem with deciding what you're going to, how you're going to design your card. Go onto Pinterest, search sketch, card making, something like that, and then you'll get lots of blank designs coming up, and it's perfect to help you with your creativity. Anyway, so I'm going to put a butterfly on here, and I'm going to have my butterfly in Berry Vanilla. So I've got some Night of Navy ink, and I've got my Butterfly Gala stamp set, and what am I going to do? I think I'm going to take this butterfly. The thing with the Butterfly Gala stamp set is that the two butterflies are joined together like that. Now, there's no reason why you just couldn't snip those off. And I haven't snipped them off. I don't know why. It's just something that stops me from doing that. So what I'm going to do is just ink up just that top butterfly, and I'm probably going to get a bit of the bottom butterfly, but that doesn't matter. And just going to stamp that there like that. Going to close that ink quickly. Oops, oh, I'm making a right racket here. Get the butterfly punch, and I'm just going to punch that out there like that. Line it up. I'm not making a very good job of lining that up. And that's the wonderful thing about punches, in that you can get an instant punched out, or an instant shape straight away, without having to faff around with dies. And I want to put that, where do I want to put that? I want to put that there. I also want to put some vellum leaves on here as well. We've got plenty of leaves on here, but just want to add another dimension to this. So I'm just going to take that off a second. And I've got the leaf punch. And I'm going to take my vellum, and I'm going to punch 2 of these out. So this vellum comes from the Perennial Essence vellum pack, and you've got green, yellow and pink. 4 sheets of each, and they're 12 by 12. Right, I don't know if this is going to work. I'll bin it if it doesn't. But that's kind of what I wanted to do with that. Oh, that's going to work. Let me show you what I'm just going to do. Bear with. I am going to think off the top of my head. So I want to put that leaf there. and that leaf there. Yep. And I'm going to get a mini dimensional and hope to goodness that that sticks there. I'm just going to put that there like that. Is that coming off? No. And then I just want to take off the backing like that. And I'm going to put my butterfly on without covering up my sentiment. We might cover it up a little bit. No, that'll do. That'll be fine. So I've got my vellum leaves. I've got my butterfly, which is just a little bit covering up my sentiment there. So if I did this again, I'd move the sentiment up a little bit. So now what I want to do is put 2 mini dimensionals. I'm really stingy. Now you're going to put 2, doesn't need any more. I am super stingy with dimensionals, super stingy. And I'm going to put that, I'm not actually, I'm going to put this on the card first. Bit of quick thinking there. So I'm going to put that on my card base, then I'll put that on there, just to make it a bit easier. So get my Tombow. I'm stingy with that as well. And just put that on there so you've got a nice border all the way around. And then I'm going to put my circle on there like that. There's one more thing I want to put on there. And I just want to put, sorry, just went to the other side of the room to get them. I want to put a rhinestone right in the middle of that butterfly. So I'm just going to take one of those off. Just put it in the centre there. Press it down, and there we have the finished card. So I'm just going to fold the card down like that. And there we go. So just to recap what we've got here. So some very vanilla cardstock with Rococo Rose card on top of that. I've used the Pressed Flowers DSP just to create some colour and some interest on there. Very vanilla punched Starburst punch circle and some Rococo Rose cardstock. So from the Inspiring Iris stamp set, then I've taken this sentiment, wishing you all the best. I've put a butterfly on there and some vellum leaves using the butterfly punch and the leaf punch, and I've taken the butterfly from the Butterfly Gala stamp set. So I hope you've enjoyed that project. I hope it gives you some inspiration. Get onto Pinterest and go and search those card making sketches. Really fabulous tool to give you some inspiration and to think how you're going to be using all of that lovely new DSP that's come out on the catalogue that's just launched. Again, if you're interested in a paper share, please just drop me a message or leave a comment, and I will get back to you. If you leave me a contact email, I'll get back to you, and I can give you the details with regard to the paper share. And also don't forget to go over and see Carol Tinson Designs and have a look at her video. The link for that is in the description bar below. Thank you ever so much for joining me, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.